trained I was part of the 10th Mountain Division, which was the mountain and ski. That's the only division that did mountain and ski. I did the mountain climbing, and by the time the skiing season came around, they found out I was a good typist, and I did courts and boards after that. In other words, court-martialing and legal work in the what they call a judge advocate department. So I was had the mountain training, but then they found out during the after the war, anyone who could type, it was a big demand for me doing that work. So they pulled me in. I'm very interested. It was legal work.
Okay.
For that, and that's it was all after the war, right after the war. So.
And where were you stationed?
Different basic training. Fort Knox, drove tanks and fired cannon, and then they decided that with all that experience, I should learn how to mountain climb. The Army doesn't have any routine, you know.
No,
they just do things. So everything was stationed in Colorado doing the mountain climbing, and I've stayed there until discharge.
I was trained as a regular infantry training, which, by the way, was with the 10th Infantry Division.
What was it?
The 10th Infantry Division, but it was at Fort Riley.
You were later.
Yeah, they had the two cross.
That's right.
Yeah, right. So we wore the same patch there, basically.
Yeah. They had a sword and another. It formed a Roman numeral 10.
Yeah.
We were 10th.
Infantry Division.
So we were actually in different times, same division.
We were different time, and different places because
That's right. Mine was in Colorado.
Sure.
Yours was Riley, and now they're
Riley, Kansas.
Fort Drum, New York.
Is that where they are?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that goes to basic training. That was basically infantry training, and then basically I became a field wireman, which we would put telephone wires through and so forth. And this was during the Korean War, and so we were responsible to put communication through in combat situations. And I thank the Lord that I was on the troop ship going over there to the South Pacific, to the Pacific, and I didn't end up in Korea itself, because I wouldn't be here today, because they like to, get these guys on the telephone pole, and they were very easy, very good targets up there. So then I was there, but then basically I was on Okinawa, and I was with the 29th Regimental Combat Team on Okinawa, and did some field wire work and did some ocean things where we would go into islands just to get ready to go into Korea, actually, with amphibious and stuff like that. But thankfully I got out of all that and became the editor of the regimental newspaper. Which was a lot better.
Okay.
And I'd had a good education at that point, so I really did enjoy that. But for quite a while, I didn't know whether I was going to make it or not if they finally did put me in one of those situations, I think the military milieu, the whole matter of command and obedience, it's special.
Yeah.
It's special. And once you've experienced it,
I'd never seen a mountain there. They may be belaying and rappelling, what that is with the ropes.
right, because they
swinging
told you
down.
to do it,
That's right.
and you had no choice.
You had no choice. That's where you.
Scared stiff.
We had pitons you pound into the side of a cliff and put a rope through it and work with a team going up. And then rappelling was the fun, coming down real fast with the rope. But that was unique to our division.
You follow the commands. We had it in climbing telephone poles. I never climbed a telephone pole in my life, and they said, no, I want to see every one of you guys put your hands like this on top of the telephone. I will tell you what, well, I won't say any more about such things, but I think we had a great spirit in the military in those days, don't you?
Absolutely.
I mean, we loved our country, and
Absolutely.
we were proud to be in it, and we were very eager to get home, weren't we?
I've always said it's the best, I didn't intend to, we were drafted. It was the best investment I ever made. I got 2 college degrees, and in those days they
Yeah.
paid tuition, books, even
Yeah.
gave you a stipend to live on, $81 a month to go through college. I would never have been able to do it without the service. Never.
I think the real difficulty in wartime and is being separated from your family and not knowing if you're going to see them again. You know? And I'm sure when you went in, you had that feeling too. And it was still pretty tense, wasn't it? It was pretty tense when you went.
Yeah. When I went in, my brother was fighting in Europe. You know,
Is that
so
right?
He was a European. He made it, that's why my wife, I wasn't married, mother, that's when I got out, she said, you're going to the nearest school in Chicago because, you know, she wanted someone
Yeah,
in case something happened to my brother.
yeah, yeah.
I was the youngest U.S. mailman in history. I was 15 years old.
Is that
The
right?
war was on, and they were so short of mailmen. Next door neighbor was a Hammond's mayor, G. Richard Smith, and I was mowing lawns for a quarter. I was 15 years old, and he stopped me. He knew me. He said, "Wouldn't you rather be a mailman for 85 cents an hour?" That was big money.
Oh, I tell you.
Oh, was that big money? That was 1942, 43.
Sure.
He said, "How old are you?" I said, 15. He said, "No, I declare you're 16. He called the postmaster. I went down there, interviewed, and carried mail for 3 summers. And I'll tell you, when you're a mailman during the war, they were waiting at the door, V-mail, because there was no telephone. They didn't, foreign people were overseas, and no television, no nothing. Mail was everything. We delivered mail twice a day,
Is that
morning and afternoon,
Yeah.
and once on Saturday. And people were standing at the doors waiting, because that was their way. Their sons and husbands, relatives were overseas fighting. Boy, was mail important.
Sure was.
That was it. I'm embarrassed because I didn't see battle.
But we were in the reserves for 7 years afterwards, weren't we? It was
I was under the old World War II draft, so
Oh, okay.
once you're out, you're out.
No, no,
At least.
they could call you at
Yeah.
any time.
That's
But
right.
the military is a great experience. It really is. And
You get a real love of country.
we do. And I think of it today, I've had the privilege of working overseas quite a bit and talking with a lot of people in Russia. And in fact, I talked with Gorbachev just before he retired or was sort of kicked out. But just to realize the dynamics of international affairs and how people can destroy each other so quickly, just amazing.